On today's video, I wanted to show you guys this new crossbow that I got. Yeah, did you see that? It's a little different, right? Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. Well, if you follow my channel, you know that I love crossbows. I love shooting crossbows. I love hunting with crossbows. Crossbows can be very accurate, very fast, and very deadly, and they are also a lot of fun to shoot. So I was curious to try this full-sized crossbow that actually has a built-in cocking mechanism. This crossbow is from Ballista Archery, and it's called the MegaBAT. Now, a while back, I did a review video on a reverse limb crossbow pistol that was from Ballista Archery. That crossbow pistol had a built-in cocking mechanism, and I was pretty impressed with it. And I'll leave a link below in the description of this video if you want to check out that Ballista crossbow pistol. Well, now Ballista has this full-sized crossbow with a built-in cocking mechanism. It's a pretty cool design. This MegaBAT actually won an award for the best new bow at the ATA show this past year. Not only is this crossbow fast loading, but it's also rated up to 420 feet per second. So it loads fast and it shoots fast. And I thought we could go through it. First, the MegaBAT was very easy to put together. A few screws here and there, nothing complicated at all. It came with a basic scope, but depending on what you're going to use it for, that might be all the scope that you need. Now, with any new crossbow, one thing that you're going to want to do is lubricate the crossbow before you use it. That means waxing the strings, oiling up any kind of mechanical moving parts, and also lubricating the rail. Now, I have an entire separate video dedicated to lubricating crossbows, and if you're new to crossbows or maybe you're a little unsure of how to lubricate them, I highly recommend that you check that video out. There's a lot of good information in that video, and I'll also leave a link to that video down in the description of this one if you want to get some more information on lubricating crossbows. Now, the main server on this MegaBAT actually rides slightly above the rail, unlike most other crossbows where this main server string rides right in contact with the rail as you're cocking or shooting it. So there probably isn't as much need for rail lube as there is with other crossbows, but I'm going to give this rail a little bit of rail lube just because the arrow does ride along here. Now, when you're cocking this crossbow, you put your foot in this stirrup down here, get good control over the crossbow. Make sure that the crossbow is not going to slip out from your foot as you're cocking it. And then it's just kind of got this double handle right here. And then once it's cocked, it's automatically on safety. And that safety button is right back here on the back. You push it in and it would be ready to fire. So now we're going to load this crossbow. And one thing that I recommend to everybody when you're loading a crossbow is do not get your fingers anywhere in this triangle area. Just in case this crossbow were to accidentally fire, you don't want to have your fingers or anything else in the way. So, as we're loading it, if we were to just grab this arrow, like right in the middle, and kind of start loading it, we would be putting our fingers in harm's way, okay? We don't want to do that. So what I recommend for everybody when you're loading a crossbow, and I learned this from an old archery shop owner many years ago when I first started hunting with crossbows, is grab it near the tip, okay? but we don't want to put our hand over the tip. That would be dangerous too. And then slide it down in to the crossbow till it seats back where it belongs in the trigger mechanism. It's just an extra safety precaution. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and shoot this crossbow. And this is another area where sometimes crossbow shooters get in a little bit of trouble. Hey deer hunters, don't forget to stop by Camaro's Crawlers and pick up your bottle of Promiscuous Doe urine. Promiscuous Doe is the only deer urine taken from the most sexually active does. And also, don't forget to check out Ronnie Camaro's full lineup of used arrows and used game cameras. Game cameras are sold as is, no returns, all sales are final. So for all your deer hunting needs, be sure to stop by Camaro's Crawlers. Hey, how do you think I got this buck? You got to keep your fingers out of harm's way when you're shooting it too. Remember, the string is going to come forward, right? We want to make sure and keep our fingers and our hands in nice safe spots, okay? Usually there's a good safe forearm to most crossbows, okay? We don't want to be sticking our fingers up where they're going to get clipped by that string when we fire. If you're going to be shooting off of a rest, be sure that that rest is not in the way of your string or limbs when you fire the crossbow. And when you're shooting off a rest, you really don't need this hand to hold up the weight of the crossbow, which is fine, but don't let this hand get into trouble, okay? If you don't need it to hold up the crossbow, it can sometimes wander and find problems and get in the way of the string or maybe even the limbs, okay? So just be aware of that too when you're shooting a crossbow. Okay, so we're all ready to take a shot here. Push that lever forward, now it's ready to fire. Now, this crossbow isn't sighted in yet. That's what I'm going to do today. But I do want to mention that the trigger pull on this MegaBAT is really nice and smooth. We'll cock it and take another shot. Okay, so here we go. All right, another shot here. Well, it still needs to be sighted in, but this MegaBAT is very repeatable when it shoots. I think I hit him. Yeah. Well, it would have been cooler if it had been in the bullseye, but it does show how repeatable this crossbow is. And we're gonna make our adjustments and we're gonna dial this in, and you can tell once it's dialed in, it's gonna be quite deadly. Now, the scope that came with this MegaBAT is just your basic scope, so it's just gonna be your basic adjustments to get it sighted in, your windage and elevation. And then the scope itself does come with the different levels of elevation for the different distances that you might be shooting with this crossbow. pretty standard stuff with crossbows. Now, if you're not too familiar with sighting in a crossbow, the scopes are a little bit different. They have the different lines of elevation, and I do have an entire separate video on just sighting in your basic crossbow scopes, the ones with the different lines of elevation. So if you're not too familiar with that, I'll leave a link below. You can check those videos out too. So my overall thoughts on this Ballista Mega Bat crossbow: it's very fun to shoot, very fast. It's rated at 420 feet per second, and it is very repeatable. The MegaBAT also has this adjustable buttstock, so it can fit any size shooter. And you saw how quickly you could cock and load it, okay? Much quicker than the other crossbows I have, right? Now, when it comes to deer hunting, being able to cock and load a crossbow quickly after the initial shot probably doesn't hold that much value, right? Okay, most of you guys out there to deer hunt with your crossbows like I do, okay, you're cocking and loading them before you actually sit down or get in the stand or get in the tree, and the plan is one shot, right guys? You get that one good shot, you take it, you make it accurate, and you get the deer. And even if something were to go wrong, the chances of you getting a follow-up shot, whether you've got a built-in cocking mechanism or not, are pretty low, right? Let's be honest with that. So I don't know if there's a huge advantage to this mechanism when it comes to deer hunting. Now, don't get me wrong, this MegaBAT would be an excellent option for deer hunting. It's got all that speed, power, and repeatability that you're looking for. But having this built-in cocking mechanism, I can see this could be a good option for bow fishing, target shooting, especially you shooters that like to walk around 3D ranges and do some shooting. I could also see this fast loading crossbow being great for small game hunting, or really any game hunting where multiple shots are common. And I also see where this might be a good option for self-defense. In certain situations where a firearm really isn't an option, this MegaBAT might be a good choice for self-defense. So if you'd like some more information on this Ballista Mega Bat crossbow, I'll leave a link below in the description of this video. Eat shark. Very good. So guys, if you're interested in more videos about getting out and enjoying the great outdoors of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, be sure to check out the entire channel. And if you enjoy what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. And for bonus content, be sure to check out our Patreon page. A link to this page can be found in the description of this video. And also guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. Thanks for watching, and God bless.